My name is Marcia Contreras, and I am the Deputy Executive Director for Mission Housing Development Corporation, one of the co-developers for the Balboa Park Upper Yard, alongside related companies. I'd like to welcome everyone to Land in Community's Hand, the groundbreaking ceremony for the Balboa Park Upper Yard. We're excited that you have set time aside to join us and celebrate along with us. We're standing on the ground where in about approximately 2 years from now, about 130 units of affordable housing will rise. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the signal. Are we excited about that? 130 units coming to this wonderful space. The Balboa Upper Yard has truly been a community effort. For well over a decade, members of the San Francisco Diverse District 11, my personal district that I'm so proud of, have come together and organized to ensure this plot of land here would one day become affordable housing. And today, we celebrate together the efforts of numerous advocates, leaders, financial partners, countless people who have touched this project and shown what happens when we, and I'm gonna repeat, when we, all of us, come together and put the land in community's hands. Isn't that true? Yes? Where is our community? We have a lot to celebrate today, so let's get started. One of our first speakers is one that I know very well, and I have the opportunity to work very closely these past 10 years. We have worked tirelessly along with our team to see that this dream became reality, which is basically to build affordable housing in my district, District 11. Can you please help me welcome our Executive Director, Sam Moss, to the podium.
Thanks, everybody. I'll keep it short. We're standing on a parking lot right now that will be 131 units of affordable housing, in under 10 years. And I just want everyone to take a moment to think about that. We have space in San Francisco to build affordable housing for our low-income communities. We have lots of space. There are lots of parking lots just like this all over the city. There's lots of undeveloped land all over the city. And so whenever someone tells you that people just need to move away, that there isn't enough room, that just point them to this place, because we are proving that the highest and best use for land in the city is probably housing our most needing citizens. And I want to thank Related California, Bill Whitty, and Silverberg. Without you, Mission Housing would never have been able to take a lead like we have in this project. We have rebuilt ourselves over the last 10 years, and it's exciting to take the next step. I'd like to thank Senator Scott Wiener and SB 35, with which we would not be where we are in the time that we are. But more importantly, I'd like to thank the District 11 community, CUHJ, the OMI, everyone. Without you, we wouldn't be here today. Since 2008, you've been pushing for affordable housing at this spot, and I'm just really excited for everyone to get a chance to celebrate, because affordable housing is the best. So thank you very much. And with that, I'd like to introduce Jamie Rooning-Miles from the YMCA.
Hello, everybody. What a great day. I want to center my comments on a powerful word that you're going to hear hopefully over and over again today. And that word is yes. So many times we hear in this city about no. No, we can't do it. No, we can't dream big enough. But today is about a yes. And imagine the hope and optimism of that word. Think in your head the many times that you said yes to something, you open yourself up to it. Yes, we can have community input. Yes, we can do this. We can take a land that needs to be brought back to affordable housing and really make it powerful. Thank you, Senator, for making that happen. So let's center today on one word, and that is yes. So thank you for that. And it matters. Why does yes matter? The soul of the city depends on how we treat our most vulnerable. And this is a site that is going to be a treasure for the most vulnerable in our community. 100% affordable housing. Can we say that? 100% affordable housing on this site. Access to transit. At Balboa, Mission Terrace neighborhood, incredible work through the power of yes. Also, youth development. We'll have over 6,000 square foot youth development center in this site. So every child that walks through the thresholds of those doors understands the power of yes and how we came together, how community came together, elected officials came together, partners, our faith-based ministry, Pastor Ralph. We came together to say yes, yes, yes over and over again, and we've got more yeses to go. So I'm proud of this collaboration, this partnership, the community input to make it happen. The future is bright here today. I want to thank Mayor Breed for her vision, Senator as well for his vision, for allowing us to come together. On behalf of the YMCA, thank you for all your work, for your support, and Sam Moss, thank you for your words earlier today. So today is all about yeses. Thank you all.
Thank you, Jamie, and that is a yes for me. Community partners like the YMCA are going to be able to provide strong programming here for our residents at the Balboa Park Upper Yard, and we're very excited about that. But now I want to also bring to the front an amazing group of folks, and I am going to make sure that I pronounce this correctly because I was trained earlier today. This district is very diverse, and we have a lot of different cultures in District 11. And today we're going to be welcoming Kulintang dialect to the front. So Kulintang dialect plays traditional indigenous Kulintang music from the southern Philippines, as well as their own original compositions. They're a homegrown group here in District 11, and they're going to be providing some entertainment so we can learn a little bit more about their culture. So welcome.
song. And this song is an original composition grown right here in San Francisco called Binalig a San Francisco. So let's do it.
Wasn't that wonderful? Can we give him another round of applause? Thank you, Kulintang dialect, for joining us today and for allowing us to enjoy this wonderful music. All right. So now, to lead us in a prayer and a blessing, I would like to welcome Pastor Ralph Howard of the Paradise Missionary Baptist Church. Pastor Howard and his family has been a religious pillar in this community for the past 50 years, helping us lead in faith and gratitude. Pastor Howard will lead us with some wonderful few words and a blessing for us today. Oops.
Truly, it is an honor for us to be able to join in this occasion for the work that has been done, and what we are all about to witness and take part in will be a legacy that will stand for the generations. As pastor of Paradise Missionary Baptist Church, our congregation has been privileged to serve this community for now over 70 years. We've been located right here on San Jose Avenue for 55 years. And the changes that have occurred over that period of time have helped to strengthen our community and to bring us together, recognizing that God has created us not only to be equal, but also to grow, prosper, and to care for one another. One of the great commandments, which was asked of the Lord by a person who wanted to know, how can you please God? The Lord responded, there is a great commandment. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And the second is equal to the first. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. He said, on these two hinge all the laws and the prophets. Truly the things that we are able to do to help to provide for housing meets that challenge. I've been asked to share a prayer of blessing for not only those who are soon to reside here, but a blessing on our community. For what is taking place here is truly a reminder that we all have common need, a need for food, a need for shelter, and a need for love. In the book of Hebrews, in the 3rd chapter, the words of the Bible declare, for every house is built by someone, but God is the builder of everything. And with that, let us pray. Lord God, as we come to this appointed time, we are eternally grateful that you have provided for us the resources, the wisdom, the means by which to care for our fellow man. Lord, you have provided every one of us, dear God, with resources. And to please you, you have required that we share with those who have need. So, dear God, we pray that this building, this house, which will house many families, will be a refuge of safety. We pray, dear God, that in this place, those who reside here, those who pass through here, those who come to be served by the various activities here will grow into the persons that they are meant to be, persons of dignity, persons of integrity, persons who have your favor. So we thank you today for this, the result of a job well done. God, we thank you and give you honor. Bless this land and this place. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Howard, for your wonderful words and also for your blessing and your prayer today. Now we would like to welcome Melissa Reyes of the Community United for Health and Justice, a coalition that actually arose here and came together to lead the community advocacy effort to make sure that the Balboa Upper Yard was secured and that affordable housing could be developed here. So please help me welcome Melissa Reyes.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. This is truly a victory for our community. Again, my name is Melissa Reyes. I live and work in D11. I live on Mission Street. So again, it's very exciting to be here, see everyone out here today. I was actually active in Communities United for Health and Justice, which is the community organization and alliance that really helped make this possible. I was actually active in the alliance after securing this land and this project, but in the work that I've done, I really want to highlight and lift up the crucial role that CUHJ and the rest of our communities have really played, and the community movement that really ensured this victory. And I wanted to just continue to highlight that this wouldn't be possible without, our community members who were active every step of the way, coming together to defend against and also create alternatives to harmful development in our neighborhood, and continue to highlight the actual hard work that went into, making this possible. And so when I was active in CUHJ, we collaborated with many other stakeholders in our community. So I was able to see the development of a housing action team that met monthly. We were able to bring together our multilingual, multi-ethnic, multi-generational community every month to talk about what was happening in the community, and really think about how we could, make sure that we were engaging folks in the neighborhood and in our communities who don't typically are engaged or who aren't typically, they don't typically have a seat at the table. And so some of those examples of the work that we did in CUHJ was we collaborated with schools. So Balboa High School, June Jordan, we were able to engage staff, the administration, teachers, students. We were able to bring, really allow the youth to lead a walking tour with planning commissioners to talk about the importance of our neighborhood and the importance of ensuring that the youth who were born in this neighborhood were able to continue to live here 10, 20 years down the line. We were able to again, also meet monthly with our community members to ensure that their voices were heard. We engaged in different meetings with developers. We're actually at the table when we were choosing a developer for this site, which is very unique, that the community really demanded to be a part of that process. And I think I just wanted to continue to highlight that the work that CUHA has done and the work that our community has done as a part of this victory is that we didn't accept top-down decisions. We didn't accept whatever was coming down from City Hall, but we actually were proactive in cultivating and shaping what we wanted to see in this community, what we wanted to see in this project, and ensure that the needs of our community was reflected in that. I also wanted to, just say that this victory is, again, a testament to what happens when a community is empowered, when a community unites around a vision reflective of the needs of its community and demands a seat at the decision-making table. And it's really an example for how we should continue to move forward in projects like this in the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa, for your words, and thank you, CUHJ, for all of the work that you did in this neighborhood, but also the work that you did to make this project happen. Well, another important part of this development is not only its proximity to one of the busiest mass transit hubs in the Bay Area, but it also is going to be displaying a new BART Plaza, which we're very excited. So we're very excited to welcome two members of the BART's Board of Director, Bevan Dufty and Janice Lee.
Good morning, and as I start, I just want to acknowledge that we have a local official who actually lives in this neighborhood that I want to introduce, and Fauga Moliga, who's a member of the Board of Education here in San Francisco, the first Samoan Pacific Islander ever to serve on the school board and doing a lot of important work. I'm Bevan Dufty, and I'm so honored to be here with my colleague, Janice Lee, and I just want to reflect on what Marcia said. I love District 11. I had a 25-year career in the city government and 5 years at BART, and I can tell you that District 11 is unlike many other parts of this city. D11 has come together time and time again to say, you know what? We deserve more attention from the city and county of San Francisco. We deserve the opportunity to do things like build affordable housing. And so while many of us who are elected are getting the opportunity to stand here, I just want to say clearly that I went to so many events that Podera was part of and the community was part of, and there was a vision in this community that we could do this, that we could take this barren parking lot and make something that has real meaning and to knit together a community that does have a lot of traffic. It's no way to deny it, right? But it is also one of the busiest BART stations. And so transit-oriented development is what BART is focused on. And that really means bringing together opportunities for individuals and families to go places, to go to school, to go to work, to go to museums because of having a rich BART system here and also the Muni system as well. I want to say that this groundbreaking, first of all, sometimes you go to groundbreaking and there's just like a couple of bushels of sand over there and that's all that's happening. I mean, this is for real, okay? Like I'm watching Marcia and I see the stuff swinging back here, going back and forth and the horns blowing. And so this is also testament to D11 about getting it done and not standing on ceremony. So I would now like to also just acknowledge Senator Wiener because SB 35 is the real deal. It says that if you build enough affordable housing as part of your project, we're not going to let your project be tied down. We're not going to let it be delayed for years and years as we've seen. And so I think that that is something that is very significant, and it's something that I really appreciate about what Scott has done in Sacramento. And then I just have to give Sam a shout out. He very politely said that the past 10 years have been good years for the Mission Housing Development Corporation. They've been fantastic years. And they followed some years that were kind of fallow and not a whole hell of a lot was happening around here. So I just want to say to Mission Housing and to Sam, could we give them a round of applause and just say that they have really stepped up and have so many things to be proud of. So now I'd like to introduce my colleague, and I want to say that one of the great things about Balboa Park Station is that you campaign there. And Janice and I stood there day after day, morning after morning, and to see people flying through that station trying to get to work or school on time was absolutely inspiring. But I want to thank D11, which we both share, for electing a wonderful, fierce, smart, queer, young Asian American woman to be on the BART board of directors and to really change the direction for the future. Janice Lee.
Good morning, everyone. So I do pay Director Duffy here to be my hype man at every event, so if you need him to, hire him. Hi, everyone. My name is Janice Lee, and I'm proud to be elected to be the representative of District 8 on the BART Board of Directors to share this amazing station with Director Bevan Duffy. So we get to celebrate this as elected officials, the fancy folks, and carry these golden shovels. This is an easy job, but the hard work was folks like CUHJ, folks like Podera, this community turning out and saying, you know what, we deserve more, and what we are getting is more. It's 131 units of affordable housing, and for me, affordable housing is a really personal issue. I am a renter. I have absolutely no pathway to owning a home in this city. It's out of my price range. It's not ever going to be possible. I think that's true for a lot of people, especially a lot of young people here. I've often said that I'm likely going to get priced out before I get voted out of my district. That's how darn expensive it is in this city. And these 131 units are going to help build generational wealth for folks like me, immigrants, for young folks, for people of color, keep them in this community. On top of that, though, folks who are living here in this community and all the housing that's getting built in this community, they deserve excellent, high-quality transit with a great plaza as an entrance to our Balboa Park Station, not this brutalist concrete blocks. We deserve something that looks great, that you feel great as you enter. So we're really, really proud at BART to have partnered with the Mayor's office, Mayor London Breed's office, with SF County Transportation Authority to really bring the dollars in and make this into a beautiful, high-quality transit system that we can all be proud of. So thank you, everyone, for being here today. Thank you, Director Duffy and Lee. And thank you for investing in District 11. I was one of those individuals that probably ran into that BART station many, many times along with my kids, running to go to work. And I'm very appreciative of the fact that there is going to be a new BART plaza for our fellow workers that are going to be able to enjoy, and also our kids. Believe it or not, a lot of young adults are taking BART nowadays. It's not just the working class. So thank you so much for that investment, and I'm personally very, very appreciative of that. We would not be here actually without also the financial support of various institutions who continue to invest in affordable housing. Our gratitude goes out to San Francisco Mayor Office of Housing and Community Development, Wells Fargo, the California Community Reinvestment Corporation, the California Debt Limit Allocation Committee, the California Tax Credit Allocation Committee, and the California Department of Housing and Community Development. Let me take a moment to rest. That was a lot. But this is what it takes to build affordable housing. We have to all come together in order for it to happen. So I'm glad to be able to present today Pedro Galvao. He represents the California Department of Housing and Community Development, and he has a few words to say to us today. So please come over and help me welcome him today.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much, Marcia, for that kind introduction. And thank you, Mission Housing and Related, for having me. Also want to thank Senator Wiener for being such a tireless housing advocate and getting the legislation that we needed to help make this project a reality. On behalf of the Department of Housing and Community Development, I'm here to congratulate you for this community's tremendous achievement. It really is the community's victory today. Balboa Park Upper Yard represents the kind of development that you fought hard to make a reality, but that California desperately needs more of. Affordable, transit-oriented development that's here, that the community advocated for, that serves the community, and that will enable hundreds of San Francisco families that are currently wondering how they're going to put an affordable roof over their head, an affordable place to call home. This is what happens when a community demands more affordable housing for their neighborhood so that neighbors can stay in the area and prosper. This is what happens when you have a city like San Francisco that said yes to more affordable housing and dedicated land, public land, for the public good, as well as millions of dollars and thousands of staff hours to make this a reality. This is what happens when you have BART directors who care about affordable housing and want more of it near their station areas. And I've been to those BART director meetings, and I know how hard you have to fight. This is what happens when you have talented affordable housing developers who are willing to put in the hundreds of hours to put together tons of applications, attend thousands of hours of meetings to get this project off the ground. And we're here today because none of you gave up. None of you gave up the vision that San Francisco needs to be a place where everyone has an affordable and stable place to call home, and that public land should be used for the public good. It shouldn't be this hard, but you did it. So the state is really proud to be here and have invested $15 million in this project through the Affordable Housing and Sustainable Communities program, because not only do we desperately need more of this kind of affordable housing that can get more residents affordably housed while combating climate change and helping to build a strong, prosperous community for generations to come. And for all of these accomplishments, I'm proud to stand alongside you today and to thank you for not giving up, for continuing to support your beloved community, because this is an amazing accomplishment and there's so much to celebrate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deputy Director Galvao, for your kind words and also for the support and the continued support for affordable housing that we all know we still need in San Francisco. Now we'd like to continue the ceremony by honoring the original owners of this land. To do so, we would like to welcome Chicago Dance Azteca and Irma Alvarado of the Instituto Familiar de la Raza for a ceremonial blessing.
Good morning. We are Chicoa Danza Azteca. It is an honor for us to be here to do the blessings. We're going to do the 4 directions, thanking our ancestors for this day, the original people of this land, the Ohlone people, for allowing us to do this ceremony. These dances that we're doing are traditional Aztec dances from Mexico City. So I hope you enjoy these blessings that we're doing for all of you. Thank you so much for inviting us. Thank you so much again. Now we're gonna put it away the way we began, by facing the four directions. The east where the sun rises, the west where the sun goes down, the north, and then the south, and back to the center, to our Creator and to our Mother Earth. And thank all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shikoto Danza Azteca, for joining us today and receiving the blessing for this site. Once again, on behalf of Mission Housing and Related California, I would like to welcome everyone to Land in Community Hands, the groundbreaking ceremony for the Balboa Park Upper Yard development. Ever since 2016, actually, when we were awarded the rights to build affordable housing here on the corner of Geneva and San Jose Avenues, we committed to a community-based process. This process involved countless hours of community-based organizations, but also a strong, unwavering support of elected officials. And today, I'd like to welcome someone that is an advocate as well and a supportive of affordable housing, our own mayor of San Francisco, Mayor London Breed.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here for this groundbreaking of 131 new affordable units right here at Balboa Park Upper Yard, but also in the heart somewhat of Lakeview. I want to send a shout out to the Lakeview community that's here. Al and Mary Harris, I see you in the back, Maurice, and I don't see Gwen here today, but I know that there's a whole host of people from this community that have been here for generations. And when we build affordable housing in San Francisco, well, when we did it back then, when I was growing up, the people in these communities did not always have access to the units that were built in their communities. And this is why, even before I was mayor, I fought so hard for neighborhood preference. Because I do believe that people who are part of these communities deserve to continue to be a part of these communities. When I talk about housing and affordability and the need to build more, people talk about coming to San Francisco for a better opportunity and being able to find a place to stay, and then making a better life for themselves, raising their children in San Francisco. But once their children are adults, they no longer can afford to live here. And that's why this is so important. And Pedro, I want you to send a message to Gustavo from me up in Sacramento that yes, we appreciate the 25% neighborhood preference, but he knows I want 40%, at least. So next time, next project, fingers crossed. But I want to thank the state for the $30 million investment in this project, because it does take a village. And working with Bill Whitty at Related, working with Sam Moss at Mission Housing, partnering and working with various community-based organizations to reach out and to make sure that they are a part of the fabric of what makes this affordable housing so special. has been instrumental in the success of not just the groundbreaking here today that will develop the units, but before we were even ready for construction. Your supervisor, Asha Safai, led the effort to make this a triage location for people who were homeless living in their cars. They were here getting the services and resources they need. And I pray, Bishop Howard, that there is a direct connection between those people who were living on this site, who were homeless, and access to the housing that we're going to build on this site. We have to do better. We have to make sure that people who are unhoused have a direct connection. The application process is something, Sam, that you know we have to change, because not everyone has access to a computer to fill out an application and apply for every single thing that they may qualify for. We have to make it easier. We have to make sure that we make those connections. And I'm going to continue to push Eric Shaw, Mayor's Office of Housing, who's in the back there, to make sure that when we talk about access to affordable housing, we're talking about equity, we're talking about direct connections between community, between homeless, and all the people that we know deserve an affordable, safe place to call home. That's what this project represents. And so we are glad to be here today to break ground. I want to really thank Senator Scott Wiener for his advocacy on pushing to build and to have more density in places like where we are next to a BART station, in places where it is transit rich. That saves not only commute time, but it also helps the environment. This project is going to do so much with a child care center, a bicycle shop, so many great things for the community, health and wellness, because we know this pandemic has been very challenging on our mental health, especially our children who have not been in school. We got work to do in San Francisco. Having safe, affordable places with resources and services and community together is going to be instrumental in moving this city forward and making sure that we are successful in our housing goals so that we can continue to address the challenges that exist with affordability and homelessness. So I'm so grateful that you all are joining us here today. I want to break this ground like right now almost, but I know we have some other speakers because I want to come back right away, Bill, for this ribbon cutting, because we got to get this thing done. We want it nice, we want it great, and we want the community continue to live and thrive here. So thank you all so much for being here today.
Thank you, Mayor London Breed, for your words, and thank you for supporting us today and being here. I would like to introduce Senator Scott Wiener to the podium. Would like for him to add a few words and for support in regards to this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. First of all, I want to thank and congratulate the entire District 11 community for this amazing addition. We know that when it comes to building affordable housing in San Francisco, we haven't always built it in every part of the city, and it's been concentrated in certain areas, which is a good thing for those communities, but we need to spread it out more. We need to make sure we are building housing, including a lot of affordable housing in every single neighborhood in San Francisco. We need to move away from the stratification where we only build it in certain places. And District 11 absolutely needs this housing and a lot more. So congratulations and thank you to everyone who made this a reality. As you heard earlier, we've been doing a lot of work at the state level to grapple with our multi-million home shortage in California. We are short housing at every income level, particularly at our low income level. And we've been passing laws to try to make sure that all communities are contributing to our housing needs, that we're speeding up the permitting of housing, that we're zoning for more housing so we can actually meet our needs, that we're just making all of these important changes. And it's very, very gratifying when you see those laws that we passed in Sacramento actually translate. And as you heard, this project was streamlined and expedited under a law that I passed, Senate Bill 35, that is, thank you. that has streamlined over 2,000 units of affordable housing in San Francisco alone, and many thousand units of affordable housing all across the state. But it's always important to keep in mind, we have all these fights about housing, about CEQA and zoning and accessory dwelling units and discretionary view and conditional use, all these very technical terms that we fight about a lot. But we have to always remember that behind these very technical terms, behind all these laws, it's about real live people. It's about human beings in our communities who are struggling. We know people who not are homeless, who have become homeless, who lost their housing and had nowhere else to go. People who are being pushed into poverty because of the crushing cost of housing. People who have to leave their communities and move hours away or out of the state entirely. Kids who can't afford to live in the community where they grew up. And the huge number of low-income renters in San Francisco and the whole Bay Area who are at risk of being the next wave of homeless. So we need to always remember as we have these fights at neighborhood meetings, at planning commission meetings, in the state legislature, at the Board of Supervisors, these fights and discussions that we have about housing, it is always about people and making sure that people can live with dignity in our community. So congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Senator Wiener, for your words and for being here today with us to celebrate this achievement. And thank you for all your support. Our next speaker is our supervisor for District 11, Supervisor Asha Safai. We'd like to welcome him to the podium to say a few words.
Well, I don't know what left there is to say, but I just want to point at something. Look at that crane. You drive around San Francisco right now and you count how many cranes are in the sky. The majority of those cranes are in District 11. Go down the street to 4840 Mission, there's a crane in the sky. Go right down the street to the corner, Home SF Project, 65 Ocean, crane in the sky. Right here at the Upper Yard, crane in the sky. We need to build housing. This city is facing a housing crisis. And because of the great work of so many people that are here today that you've heard from, thank you to Bart for being a partner, working with us on the plaza. Thank you for Mission Housing. Sam and I, when I first got elected to office, we had one of our very first meetings together with Mayor Lee. And I said, is there childcare on site? And Sam kind of looked the other way, and Mayor Lee said, make sure there's childcare on site. But they didn't even have to hesitate. They made it happen the next day. Thank you, Bill Whitty and Related, for taking my calls, working us through this process, bringing everyone back together, and keeping us focused. And let's give it up one more time for SB 35 and Senator Wiener for the great work that he did. Thank you. Because guess what? There were a lot of people that were not supportive of that in the beginning. They did not believe that it was necessary. They said affordable housing will be okay, but guess what? It speeds up the process. The quicker we can get people housed, the quicker we can get them on the right path to a better life. Thank you, Senator Wiener. So you can see I'm kind of pulling the symphony together. Thank you to CUHJ and all the community folks for advocating for this site from the very beginning. Thank you to Marion Al Harris and all my neighbors in action for advocating for this site in the beginning. This is Lakeview. Thank you, Mayor Breed, for recognizing this. This is the gateway to a community that is the forgotten part and had been for a very long time. So thank you for the tremendous work for all the community leaders. Thank you to former Supervisor Avalos for working with the community to getting site control on this site and making sure that this would actually be able to be affordable housing. But I want to give a special thanks to my friend and our mayor, London Breed, because when this project was stalling, when this project was facing a funding gap, and I'm not talking about $100,000, I'm talking about over $20 million. Mayor Breed did not even hesitate and said, we're going to put housing in a part of San Francisco that has not had affordable housing in decades. This will be the first 100% family affordable housing ever in this district, ever, funded by tax credits and working with our nonprofits. And Mayor Breed, you referenced our safe parking site. That's another thing that we did that was a first for this part of town. We've never, not even for this part of town, for our city, we've never done safe parking. But she didn't hesitate. I went into her office. I used to say I marched, but she didn't like that. I walked into her office respectfully and asked her for money to do something special with those living in vehicles. And then here we are again, about a month ago, working with her office. We were able to buy the Mission Inn Hotel, and we will have a pathway for those that are living in vehicles to be able to be housed. So the 4840 site, the Upper Yard site, and the Mission Inn site will be 3 affordable housing in this part of town that has not seen any supportive housing ever. So Mayor Breed has been a champion for affordable housing, and she's been a champion for this part of town. Thank you. One last person I want to recognize is Treasurer Fiona Ma. When we were in a bind, when it looked like we might not get the tax credit allocation because that now has become a competitive process, we were able to work with and advocate for, with Bill Whitty, with the mayor's office, with Mission Housing, and get that allocation, which was the last piece on making sure that the funding would line up for this site. So I am so thrilled to be here today. I'm thrilled to be your supervisor, and I'm so happy to know that residents from Sunnydale will be living here. 40% plus neighborhood preference will be living here, and we will be working diligently, Mayor Breed, with Mission Housing, with the community, to ensure that we do the outreach, to ensure that residents of this district, All My Lakeview, Excelsior, will be housed in this part of town and in this district and remain a vital part of this community. One last thing I want to underscore, and I think it's an important part to underscore, and it's something that the mayor and I see eye to eye on, and I know it's something that Senator Wiener has been fighting for years. This will be a very diverse site. It will have incomes that range from 35% AMI all the way up to 109% AMI. That means teachers, nurses, laborers, janitors, working people that in the past have been forgotten as part of our affordable housing conversation will be able to live here, along with those that are struggling to make ends meet at the minimum wage level. All families will be able to access this. And that's something I'm very proud of, and something I'm very proud to have championed. So thank you, everyone, for being here today. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Sam Moss. Thank you, Mission Housing, for all your tremendous work. And we will be breaking the ground soon, and the folks will be moving in. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Supervisor Safai, for your kind words and for remembering District 11, that we are still here on the map and that we are part of San Francisco. So thank you so much. I'd like to introduce our next presenters. Bill Whitty is the chairman and CEO of Related California, one of the state's largest developer of affordable housing, and it's based here in San Francisco. Since he founded Related California more than 30 years ago, Bill was overseeing the development of 16,000 residences, completed over 12,000 affordable units. His counterpart, Ann Silberberg, is the Chief Executive Officer for Related California, Northern California Affordable, and Northwest Divisions. She's responsible for the strategic direction, overall management, and daily operations of the company's $2 billion affordable portfolio. In just over 3 years, Ann has grown the Northern California and Oregon affordable pipeline to approximately 4,000 units under construction and in pre-development. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work that our partners Related California is doing. So please help me welcome Bill Whitty and later on, Ann as well.
Thank you. First, I want to thank Sam for inviting us in to partner with them. It's been a great partnership. We are long-term partners with them. We look forward to being stakeholders in this community, so you haven't heard the last of us. But I have to tell you, we develop affordable housing all over California. I've never seen or had the support from the elected officials here that we have here and that you've heard today. I mean, I know that sounds sort of generic, but I'm telling you, I mean, you heard Mayor Breed, Supervisor Safai. Scott, this is the 6th SB 35 deal we've done for affordable housing. That's just in a few years. It's pretty amazing what this team of elected officials has been able to accomplish, because it's not easy. You hear about transit-oriented development. How about transit in the development? I mean, this is really unique. So I'm very pleased to be here. I want to turn it over to Ann, who she and her team on our half, my partner, did all the heavy lifting to get this project to where we are today.
Thank you, Bill, and thank you, everyone. I know that I'm standing in between us and the shovels here, so I'm going to try to make this quick, although I've been given a very long list of people to thank, and I want to thank you all individually, but I'm not going to be able to do that today. I do want to say one thing. This project is very near and dear to my heart for a couple of reasons. One, an amazing team that you're going to hear about in a second, and two, because it is housing in the community where people live, where people work, and it's next to transit. Not just transit, but high quality transit, which is so important and what we need to be doing more of to solve our housing crisis. I want to say thank you, just echo Bill's comments and say thank you to the supervisor and to the mayor. You have been true champions of this project. And I also, like everyone here, want to say thank you to the senator. Thank you very much for SB 35. This was CEQA approved in months rather than years, and it's really significant in what we need to do. I want to also say thank you to Sam and the entire Mission Housing team. You are amazing partners, and we couldn't have asked for anyone better to work with. Pedro mentioned millions of dollars and thousands of hours. I think it might be millions of hours on everybody's part, really, really making this happen, so thank you. I also want to say thank you to the MoCD staff who worked tirelessly on this project, moving it forward. And then, as has already been mentioned, BART, there are a lot of details that go into the plaza improvements and coordinating with BART. And again, millions and millions of hours, it feels like, in just making sure that every detail is right. A lot of funding comes into a project like this. We've already talked about HCD. You're going to hear from from Nancy Robles in a second, from the Treasurer's Office, SIDLAC and TCAC, but also Wells Fargo, who's not here, invested just a mere $57 million in an $80 million construction loan. So they're a very important part of this development overall, as is CCRC. So with that, I want to just say one quick thing. To the related team. I couldn't be more proud to be with you all through this process. You've done an amazing job, and I'm really, really pleased that we are all here. Cahill, thank you. They've taken to heart the on time, on budget. They did not even stop for this event and making this beautiful project come to life, designed by Mithun. Thank you all very much.
I'm sorry, not to delay things, but just 2 quick points. I talked about the support from the elected officials, and it sounds general, but I'm going to give you 2 examples. As you heard, we've had a lot of issues in getting funding from the state, new regs, et cetera. I called the mayor's office to see if Mayor Breed could talk to the treasurer, and they said, oh, she's already done that. That never happens. And Asha, usually we're calling the elected official. Would you do this? He would call me every week, every month. Is this done yet? What can I do? Is that enough units? I mean, I've never had that experience before. So just thank you to everybody, to Mission. And this is a project, as you've heard, of, by, and for the community. Thank you.
Okay, we have one additional speaker from, that represents CUHJ, Maria del Rubí Merino. Can you please join us to the front?
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es María del Rubí. Soy miembro del equipo de acción. Participé por la justicia de vivienda de la comunidad Unidas por la Salud y la Justicia. Estaba pasando por situaciones difíciles, en mi caso desalojo. Me involucré con poder en el equipo de acción y participé en la lucha en San Francisco. Participé en la lotería para conseguir una vivienda asequible. Salí favorecida, pero pidieron mucha documentación. Según ellos, no calificaba. Los ingresos eran demasiado altos, pero si no ganaba ni 50,000 al año por toda mi familia de 5 personas. A veces los programas que son hechos para ayudarnos tienen muchos obstáculos.
My name is Maria Del Rubi. I am a member of the Housing Justice Action Team with Communities United for Health and Justice. When I was going through difficult situations in my eviction case, I got involved with Poder, the action team, and joined the fight. In San Francisco, we have a lottery for affordable housing. I participated in the lottery and was selected. I was asked for a lot of documentation. According to them, I did not qualify because the income was too high. But we did not earn even $50,000 a year for my entire family of 5. Sometimes the programs made to help us put many obstacles in our way.
Para enfrentar estos desafíos hemos tenido que luchar y organizarnos. El equipo de acción incluye las abuelas, papás, mamás y nuestros vecinos. Hace muchos años empezamos a organizarnos para crear más desarrollos saludables. Jóvenes en Poder y la escuela John Jordan colaboraron con el Departamento de Salud para proteger la salud de la comunidad por proyectos al lado de una carretera con mucha contaminación. Así fuimos científicos, salimos a encuestar a la comunidad, a nuestros vecinos en inglés, español, chino y filipino, y organizamos varias cumbres para juntar a la comunidad. Así fuimos planificadores.
To face these challenges, we've had to struggle and organize. The action team includes grandmothers, dads, moms, and our neighbors. Many years ago, we started organizing to create more healthy development in our neighborhood. The community has taken a lot of leadership in securing this piece of land here at the Balboa Upper Yard. Youth with Poder and June Jordan High School collaborated with the Department of Health to protect the community's health in projects located along a heavy polluted highway. We became scientists. We took to the streets to survey our neighbors in English, Spanish, Filipino, and Chinese, and organized several summits to bring the community together. We became the planners.
Nuestros jóvenes organizaron una acción directa para exigir que la ciudad renunciara a este terreno de Balboa y lo dedicara para viviendas asequibles. Como ven, sí ganamos. Así fuimos organizadores. Nuestra visión no es al revés. Entonces, Misión Housing no tiene que olvidar quiénes son sus patrones, esa comunidad que espera por un techo digno.
Our youth organized a direct action to demand that the city release this land where we are and dedicate it to affordable housing. As you can see, we've won. We became organizers, and I can say that it is the community that hired the developer, Mission Housing, to realize our vision, not the other way around. So Mission Housing, you can't forget who the boss is.
Nuestra comunidad somos expertos en las condiciones que nos impactan. Yo fui una de las participantes que asistieron a la serie de reuniones públicas con Mission Housing. Las soluciones que necesitamos levantar son viviendas asequibles. Tienen que ser verdaderamente asequibles a los ingresos que ganamos sin muchos obstáculos. También deberemos incluir a las comunidades en planificar, desarrollar las soluciones. No aceptamos soluciones de arriba abajo. Sobre todo, deberíamos unirnos como comunidad y seguir abogando para poder llegar a un cambio que mejore a nuestra comunidad. Gracias.
Our community, we are the experts in conditions that impact us. I was one of the participants who attended the series of public meetings with Mission Housing. The solutions we need to build are affordable housing has to be truly accessible without too many barriers to best serve the people who need it. We should also include the community in planning and developing solutions. We do not accept top-down solutions. Above all, we should come together as a community and continue to advocate for the change that serves and improves our community, working together and fighting. Thank you.
Gracias. Thank you.
Gracias, Maria. To end the speaking remarks for today, please help me welcome another vital financial partner of ours, our Executive Director, Nancy Robles of California Tax Credit Allocation and the California Debt Limit Allocation Committee, to the front.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nancy Robles. I'm the Executive Director of the Tax Credit Allocation Committee and the Debt Limit Allocation Committee. And as I was sitting out in the audience watching these amazing dancers and the musicians, let's give them another hand. They were fantastic. I thought, oh gosh, I sure hope I don't have to speak after them, because I sure am not going to dance for you guys. So I'm just so very proud of this community. And I'm here representing Treasurer Ma, who couldn't be here today, and I know that she would be extremely proud to listen to all of these speakers today. Everyone was amazing, and it's just so heartwarming. And I also want to say we said yes to this project in an extremely competitive situation that we're in right now with our scarce resources. I'm just so happy that we could say yes to this project. And I want to thank all of my partners and everyone who made this possible. And like the mayor said, she's ready to get her hands on these shovels. So let's get to it. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Nancy, for your words. And at this time, I'd like to just thank a few partners, additional partners of ours, Methuen Architects, Cahill Contractors, for their work to put even this event together while they're moving around behind us. But Mission Housing would also like to thank a few other folks, Scott Falcone Consulting, and we, Mission Housing, would like to thank our board of directors, which have provided support and trust in our team to make sure that we keep this project moving along. Last but certainly not least, we'd like to thank all of our Mission Housing team that worked diligently on the project, but also all of our staff that's here today that were able to make this celebration happen even after a couple of days of rain. So can we please give them a round of applause? I also want to thank related companies and their team for their collaboration and support. And with that being said, I'd like to invite everybody to the front so we can get our picture taken and start breaking the ground.
Yeah, I'll see you.